How y'all doing? This is me, Judge Lynn, coming at you from my couch today instead of the floor because I got sick of the dogs messing around and causing a whole bunch of chaos. So the way I know they can't do it is, well, they can get on the couch, but it takes more maneuvering, and I think they'll be less likely to do it. They're on the floor. How now? But we're all good. We went outside. We played ball. The problem with the ball, playing ball, is Zora. She'll keep all the balls. And you got to fight her for them, and I'm not going to do that. And Decker fights for him, which is, I think, why they drag each other in and out of rooms, but I don't really know. But anyway, I had to confess, I've been cranky this week, I ain't gonna lie. And I've been spending a lot of time. Part of the problem is I got sucked into Zoom court. And Zoom court, it reminded me of when I was a judge in Cleveland Heights, because it was the same kind of thing where regular people, got into messes and they just couldn't seem to get it ahead of how they felt in order to do what they need. And I blame this entire thing on Mike Gravlin, attorney from Chicago, Law Talk with Mike. He had on a few cases there that were just so good that I got started. And the thing about it is, when I was on the bench in Cleveland, I thought I saw a cultural contagion of entitlement. And when I got off the bench, this was 25 years ago. Can you believe that? 25, a quarter of a century ago, I got off the bench. I was done. And I wrote my book, My Mother's Rules, which I cannot find, and I brought it out here, and I don't know where it is. But rule number 25 is, I'm sorry. Rule 27, beware entitlement inflation. I saw people getting madder and madder about smaller things and unable to resolve disputes amongst themselves, and so they involved the court system. And Zoom court is just like that on steroids. There was a lady who sued a dude 10 grand for standing her up on a date. And the really jacked up part about it is they know this much about the law, most of which they got from TV, and they insist that they know what's supposed to happen. And it's really hard I don't know how they do it. Really hard for the judges to convince them that things aren't like how they think they are. It's just fascinating. Just absolutely fascinating. And then what concerned me was I started to see cards in the front talking about don't harass the people in this court proceeding. So regular people, I guess, were out there just harassing people who are already having a tough time, because that's what I used to tell my clerks. You know, I had one or two clerks. I had great clerks. I really did. I really did. And but my thing, what I used to always tell my clerks is, remember, the fact that somebody is here means they're already having a bad day. They're either coming on jury duty, they have either been sued or suing somebody. They got a problem. This is a place where we collect problems. So you got to be uber understanding of people when you deal with people. But anyway, Zoom court. And it's fascinating. I saw a lady try to get a TPO against their neighbors because their neighbors were harassing over the fact that a couple of times the wind blew their can open and some of their trash fell on their yard. Actually, and their response was so over the top that A guy had to ask for a TPO, unable to resolve. Look at this. This is what I'm looking at. Mad because I'm not playing ball. But anyway, excuse me, that was my stomach. Just fascinating stuff, I thought. And I would like to remind everybody that feelings are fleeting and felonies are forever. But that Zoom court, it's like the unraveling I started to see, and the accumulation of entitlement has fomented, and it has become bigger than I ever thought it would be. I didn't predict Karen, but I saw her coming. I saw something like that coming. You see that tail over there? And all I want to say is, be slow to judge someone stuck on a side of a mountain you haven't been required to climb. I used to enjoy watching my people in court because it was just such a great lesson on human nature, and I hope to see these things. But I think that when you watch that Zoom court stuff, it indicts us all a little bit about our inability to get along. Just a little bit. I mean, the size of the complaints. Now, there are cases on Zoom court that are horrifying. They truly need to be there and all that kind of stuff. But, and they don't teach the judges right on Zoom court at all. I mean, they cuss them out and whatnot. Oh, I've seen some things. But anyway, it's an obsession of mine that, I'm trying to tamp down a little bit. But it's just a fascinating snapshot of how we are as folk in this day and age. And I'm worried about us. And I'm going to tell you, yesterday I had a bad day. Was it yesterday? The day before? I acted out of character. Somebody said something to me. She was trying to give me some advice, but it was unsolicited, and she didn't know me that well. She had only met me one time, and he sits on the table. He sits on the couch like a person. My foot happens to be underneath him, but anyway. And she was giving me religious, emotional, and advice, what to do, this, that, and the other thing. And I got offended. I think it was because she was young, and she really didn't know me that well, and I just thought that was pretentious. And I wrote her a missive that I thank the Lord I did not send, because I could see I wasn't in the right frame of mind. So I rewrote the email about 4 times before I sent it. And I wasn't going to, if I'd been completely in my right mind, if I had been mommy proof, if my mother had been here, I never would have written it at all. But I had a bad day. And I ended up writing, I know your heart's in the right place, but that was unwelcome. Typically it's not a good idea to instruct people you don't know about how they should conduct their religion or other things. Your heart was in the right place, I get it, but it's not something cool to do. Now, I had to do that because I couldn't stop thinking about it. Had I been in an emotionally more stable state, I could have stopped thinking about it without writing it, but I couldn't help it. But at least I wrote it nicely, and it's information, it's news you can use. And she's young, but I'm a 65-year-old sister, done some things. Yep, you kind of got to. I'm an old... It's just, I don't know. It was stupid on my part. At least I had enough sense to rewrite it before I sent it. And I sent it in a more positive way. So you can tell I feel bad about it, can't you? I wish I could have just let it go. But I couldn't. And I hate it when I'm small. But I had to protect myself. So, ain't nobody perfect. But that's the thing, though. Even if you're screwing up, you can take some of the drama out of it if you think about it for a while. Don't just shoot off missives. If it's missive-like, let it sit. You know what I mean? You can be wrong, but you can be less wrong. And not necessarily I was wrong. It's not like how I like to do business. But I couldn't help it because I couldn't let it go because I was in the wrong frame of mind. I'm in a better frame of mind today. Let us all hope. And I'm going to go outside. I went outside with the dogs earlier to listen to the birds. And if I can find a video of it, I took some video, but I don't know. I'll show it to you. But listen, y'all have a good day. Remember, feelings are fleeting, felonies are forever. Bathroom mirror mandate, take a look. And don't get caught up in the river of entitlement. Ask yourself. I mean, you got a right to want what you want. But ask yourself, how upset are you going to be if you don't get it? And then ask yourself, how big is the thing I'm upset about? And what does that say about how small a person I am? And what mountain will fall if I don't get what I want? Things that sound urgent and emergent, like the chick that got into Ross's. You can look it up on YouTube. Her boyfriend was a worker there, and she had an account. She wanted a discount, and she was so focused on the discount, she couldn't hear how she was about to get arrested because she wouldn't leave the store. And you gotta step away from yourself. Use your second set of eyes, because I always have a second set of eyes watching what I do. Even when I can watch myself do something wrong. And talk to myself while I'm doing that wrong thing. And I can stop myself sometimes, or I could mitigate the damage I do. Because I try to be very cognizant. The want, just because I want it, don't mean I should have it. That's all I'm saying. Little cranky Candace here is going to go away. I hope you have a good day.